Hello everybody, welcome back to my third video on study methods. In the previous two videos we've seen on two different topics, and you should go back and see those video 1 and 2 to get the grasp of what we have been talking on. The first part was about the thinking and the levels of thinking that we go through when we process and store um, information. On the second one, we dealt with the mental and the memory process and the kind of processing that we make and store information. On this video, I'm going to present um, note taking and organization. This is the second section. On note taking and organization, we are going to see how we get information, sorry, and then how we better process this information so that we can properly chunk together, associate together, and then remember in exam setting. Let's go. So let's start reading books. This is one of the most source of information for students, teachers give lectures, and in addition to that, they also provide references or study materials and so on. So when reading books, either academics or non-academics, it is better to know the organization of the books and the thought is in the organizations. I'm sure you know these issues, these ideas. The books have already chapters, and they are all put in some organized way, fashionable way. So whatever document, whatever book we will pick, will have this three main bodies of the material, and also this coincides with the way the information is processed and put in that document, that books. So obviously, books or chapters in that book or in a lecture or in a meeting, all of them have some similarities in that they have introduction, body, and a summary. Well, summary could be a conclusion, or maybe just a summary of the thought is in the book, or in the subject matter on discussion. So, in introduction, it is as the name implies, the books or the lectures or the meeting is uh, present what is the topic about, what is the theme about, what is the idea about in there. In the body, that's where um, a large portion of that material or book, and where lots of discussions comes in. And the summary or conclusion is the last part of it, and it is as short as at the introduction itself, or sometimes very short. The summary, as the name implies, it summarizes. But if it is something that we have to conclude, actually there is a conclusion based on the informations, the um, evidences presented in the body. That is especially in research undertaking and so on, that we use conclusions. The summary can be per page, can be per per chapter, or per book itself as well. So as I said, it is better to because it is very short, and it tells us what is in it, and it prepares us actually for the larger um, reading or understanding of the topic, it is better when we pick a book, and if we are going to read that book, it is better if we read the introduction and the summary part, especially for academic books. It's very, very important. If you pick a chapter, read some paragraph first, some few paragraphs at the beginning, because these are usually the introductions, and then pick the last ones and then summaries. By the way, this introduction and the summary and the body also can be found in a single paragraph. If the Because paragraphs deal with um, specific topic, specific ideas. So paragraphs will have the first two sentences as an introduction, and the last ones as a summary. So, as I said, the body has a detailed notes, principles, arguments, explanations, illustrations, examples. This is to present the whole evidence, the whole information into it. So, it is very, very important to read those, so that we will have a very deep understanding of the subject matter. But if we don't when we don't have the time, when our aim is just to get the idea of the book and what is it about, uh, usually the introduction and the summary are very, very good. Yeah, even sometimes the title tells what is the book about, but for the academic books, it is better when we start a book, it's better we read um, those two parts. Actually, speeches, lectures usually follow the same thing, the same um, organization. The lecturer comes in, he say that today we are going to see this, and then he goes to the body, da 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 da, and then finally it says in conclusion or summary and at last. These words are very common in the summary area. So then he summarizes, usually missing the introduction parts in lecture. It really detaches people from the all next time exercise or activities that the teacher is going to do. So it is better to be not to be missed in the lecture. In the lecture, we should be on time and well prepared to perceive the information properly. Um, so in books, as previously said, a paragraph is just it deals with one central idea, uh, but the first or the second, some of the first or second sentences will be as introduction, while others are just the body of the paragraph. And this is very important to know. uh, if we come at the start of the class, we know that the teacher is introducing his topics, and if you are in the middle, we lost already the introduction, and it is very difficult to catch up. Here, what we have to know is that um, notes and lectures and so on, books will also have some kind of logical complexity level arrangement as well. Usually, something easy will be presented at the beginning, at the start. This is how what is this is the main study area of the subjects called pedagogics. um, I don't know if you know that. Teachers know pedagogics is in combination with, in support with psychology, deals with our mental processes, being very much related to the subject matter we learn. So pedagogics deals with the complexity of content matter that we should present to students, like for each year. The because each year each child grows, their mind grows, and the subject matter complexity grows with that level. And it is the same. That complexity is true in talks, in writings, and in any other communication as well. So when we read, actually, I'm sure you do this, guys. But when we pick a book, we can't just, for example, if you pick a book and we want to read on a specific topic, we can't find page by page, but on from that book, we usually go to the index part. That's at the end of the book, or you can go to the table of contents and then find the page. But that table of content doesn't always tell us where the area we need it. The index is the most important part. We go to the index, we find a specific concept that we are going to look for, and then we go into that page and read, and the next page read, and next page read. So as we said earlier, skimming the book is very important, especially the introduction and so on and so on. And specific information can be collected and organized in some logical form, so that we can remember. We come to that later on. And a very, very important point is, whenever we read something, we have to get note, because we can forget that. If you have a note, we have to also put the source where we got that, and the year, the author, at least, and in addition, the page. We can easily go back, develop it, advance it, or um, we can, when if we use that information to write a book, or a research paper, or an assignment, we can use that information source as our references. So this is how we get information from books, how we read the books. This is very, very common area, but I just included into this video. If you don't know that, this is important information for you. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. If you have comments and ideas, questions, you are welcome. Um, this is the reference I got the ideas and developed this presentation from. You can go to them, read, and advance your knowledge on the study skills. Thank you very much. Bye now for now.